What's going on, guys? So today we're gonna do something to Ghost that we haven't done in a while. I really haven't done any mods to the GTR in a hot minute. Cause like I think I've mentioned before, the only other big thing that I want to do to the car is the half wrap in carbon fiber. But I felt like the car was missing a little bit something. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. I was actually gonna install the fender vents over here, but the way this kit curves, there's a big chance of it not lining up right. So I went for the next best thing, which are these vents. Okay, so the plan is to put that as such. It has a little bit of an arc, so I kind of have to ensure that when I mock this up and start doing cutting, I do a lot of testing and make sure that the curve in the back is gonna, I'll show you guys, right, the little curve right there, and then the front isn't too bad. So yeah, I'm gonna try that out. That's the back, so it has that curve. So it's gonna go like that. And then we'll go ahead and seal this up with some adhesive, right? After we cut, we're gonna put some paint so it doesn't rust. Then put this on. But the big thing, other thing we're gonna do too is, since there are LEDs all over the place and there are LEDs inside the vents, see if I can run some LEDs around here so it does light up, and then just add a little bit more style to how the LEDs and everything light up. But yeah, the first thing is going to be to mock this up and start the cutting process. The same thing on the other side. Just ensure that you do even 100 measurements if you have to, but only cut once. Measure from here to here, see what the distance is, from this bolt to the other one, kind of the same thing, and make sure it's even on both sides and everything like that before you start cutting. So again, it's going to take a lot of measurements. I only just want to cut once, just because I don't want to mess this up. Okay, but yeah, it's going to be the project for the car. I'll try and video as much as I can. That's going to be, I think, pretty much body wise the last thing I'm going to do before I decide to do the wrap, maybe for next season, and then redo all the LEDs around the car for lighting trend ones, so everything flows a lot better, just because the bottoms are just regular red. A lot of the speakers and everything else have the chasing ones, have the flow, the wheels have the flow and all that, but I want everything to kind of match, so everything is in sync. Okay, but yeah, I'll mock this up, show you guys what that looks like. All right, guys, so I don't know if you can see, there's two sets of lines, right? You got out here, this is where the outer edge of the vent is going to be. Okay, then the in here is actually where I'm gonna cut, then test fit, because here the lip is where we're gonna put the adhesive. Okay, all around that. But I did put this here because, as you can see, this is exactly where it's gonna curve and it's gonna sit flush. So this did take a few minutes trying to make sure this is gonna sit right, just because of the nature of the fender, how it's a little thicker here and then it bows in. The measurements are going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be like, you know, you measure 3-4 spots and it's all going to be exactly the same, just because it tapers off, and then trying to center it, and especially trying to get that curve is the kicker, right? Because if this was all flat, then we could even it on both sides, but it's not. So ensuring that it aligns, I'd rather have ensure there's no gap here than to have a little bit of I don't know what some may say it's off, but it's actually gonna come over like that, so it kind of flows with the hood, how it curves just a slight bit. But yeah, try to even it out as best I can. And again, just a curve in the back, just playing it by ear. Might have to do a little bit of adjusting here and there, but shouldn't be too bad. I think it's gonna add a big look to the car. It's gonna give it a little bit more pop. Okay, so yeah, and I'm still debating on, see how the red here, maybe do about one. I don't know, we'll see. Play around with it, just vinyl, and I have a bunch of it, so if I don't like it, just rip it off. But there are red accents all over the place in the canards, and then as I've said before, all these canards are made. Just got a sheet. This is 6 layers of carbon fiber. Just got a sheet of this off of Amazon. It's not too expensive, but made templates out of cardboard, cut it all out, made the screws all nice and flush. All right, and then just tapped it underneath into the carbon fiber. The fiberglass bumper. Then if there's any gaps, any seals, just put silicone, black silicone in there. It'll seal it all up. But yeah, that in itself was a big project. But I think it adds some looks of the car, and definitely different, especially the ones in the back. No, you won't see no other GTR with that on. Just because those are, I made those. But yeah, I think before I do the final cut, I'll do a little bit more, seeing if I can get it more symmetrical. That's pretty much, like I said, my main concern is back here, the curve, just because this fender goes down. But yeah, again, I'll grab a grinder, cut it around. If there's any sharp edges, it's pretty much going to be like sharp edge cuts. It's not going to be rounded. And then sand it all down, paint it, seal, good to go. But I'll show you what that looks like once I cut it all up. Or I'm gonna try and video some cutting, you guys can see. So holy shit, y'all, fucking cut into the damn fender. Fucking A. So yeah, like I said, I followed the line, gives me room to clean up. I think over here I'm in this bracket, I might have to see how it fits, either cut it or hammer it in. Looks pretty thin, so just protected all the carbon. So essentially this is going to sit as such. I'm going to have to make these holes a little bit bigger, but that's why you make these things a little tight. Give yourself some wiggle room for some grinding, a little bit more grinding. The front's not sitting because it has that one piece, but the back, gonna have to cut a little more so it sits. Then I can get a better gauge, but of what that's gonna look like. But so far, it looks like it's gonna sit right. But yeah, just pretty much from here on is cut, test fit, cut, test fit, and then yeah, just a lot of cut and test fit pretty much from here on out. Yep. But yeah, just pretty much that's what it is, guys. Now I'll show you guys a little bit more of what it looks like when I clean it all up. Alright guys, so some testing, some cutting. Alright, had to sand a little bit in here, but what I wanted was accomplished. I don't know if you guys can see, that curves perfect. Alright, freaking perfect, flush, exactly what I wanted. Alright, that was my only concern. And then I had to flush up here. Once I put the glue, all this will stick down nice and neat. That's gonna look fucking sick. Yeah, it looks so good. Then I'll do the other side, but I think maybe tomorrow try and install some LEDs in here, let it light up, and then just wire it all up. But show you guys what the other stuff looks like, and then what the finished product looks like. Alright guys, so I've used the adhesive on the vent. y'all. Pushing that shit is not going anywhere. All right. So I put the adhesive all around here. I actually used the kettlebell and a trailer hitch to put pressure on it, so it made everything nice and flush. There's no gaps. And I did wire something up. I'm gonna show you guys. Look at that, y'all. Nasty. That's gonna look fucking badass at the show. All right, and then this, when I have the other underglows on, and this lights up as well. But yeah, it's gonna look so sick. But just put the other side on, let that dry overnight. What I did use was, all right, the Loctite. This is for construction. All right, so this shit is like hella strong. It's not gonna come off. Actually, I'm gonna put this here because I'm gonna use it. But yeah, y'all, that shit looks freaking sick. I'll show you guys what that looks like when it's all done. But I love how it came out. Look at the angle. I think it added to it. Yep. All right, guys, so this is the final product. As you guys can see, don't mind the car being super dirty. All right, both vents are on. They're even. Things came out super nice. I think it adds a little more look to the side of the car. All right, makes it a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, because the fender ones that I was gonna put, excuse me, because I got my bow in my hands over here. They just, because the way this curves, it wouldn't have fit right. It would have fit right if I didn't have the white body, but it didn't. And I didn't want to risk it cutting and then it not bending right, and then mess up a whole kit. So these came out super nice. All right, super nice. You guys got questions, let me know. I got these off of eBay. All right, it's a nice carbon weave, matches the hood. Came out dope. Got the red LEDs inside. I'll finish the wiring up. That'll run that on it. Run it from here to the other side, and then inside, and hook it up to the MIG tuning box. All right, you guys got any questions? Let me know.